I'm sure everyone saw the video online of that jiu-jitsu guy who stepped in, you know, when at 7-Eleven, a guy walks in, some random guy, punches the attendant, and the jiu-jitsu black belt steps in and obviously detains the guy until the police shows up. Right. So my thought is, when it comes to jiu-jitsu and being trained, if you find yourself in a situation like that, I mean, what's your sort of thought or approach, or pros, cons, whatever?
Yeah, it's kind of a tough situation because there's so many different variables that goes on in each situation, right? You don't know what they have or whatever, stuff like that. It could be dangerous as well. So I understand if people don't step in, but the way I kind of see it is that we train not just for fun and to get in shape and to learn all this cool stuff that we do in jiu-jitsu, but it's also to be able to protect ourselves and possibly others, right? But some people instinctively are not okay with confrontation, so when they see stuff, they kind of freeze up. Or they have that should I or shouldn't I, because like of the variables, which is understandable. But I think too, from my experience, like I also had those doubts too, but ultimately, you know, a couple of times I've stepped into a couple of situations that were like, but I try to use my voice, like, hey, like, it's not worth it, don't do this. I try to talk them down, just chill, bro, like, let it go, come back tomorrow, revisit that whole thing. I try to take that approach. So that's what I would say to those practitioners that are out there that may or may not run into a scenario like that. Try to, you know, use that kind of thing that jiu-jitsu brings to us all, that calm, yeah, that verbal judo, exactly. Try to use that too first and foremost. Hey, bro, just relax, it's cool. Don't, like, you know, try to use that approach, you know, and it works a lot. You know, it just happened the other day out here, you know, with Trader Joe, but there was a scenario when we were all here, you were there, a scenario happened where this dude was basically beating up a girl, and we were all chilling, and I seen it on the camera, so I ran out, and I was like, hey, like, I started talking to him, like, hey, stop, just relax, you know, take that stuff somewhere else, that kind of stuff. But then it kind of had a gnarly twist to it, to where a bunch of these little gangbanger kids ran out thinking that I was the one, even though the victims were like, oh no, it's not him, he was helping us. But they all surrounded me, like 20 of them or 30 of them, even though you guys were right behind me. And Joe, one of our guys, made a call. It was like, hey, Sapal, let's just go. Let them deal with it, which was the right call. And I didn't fight it. I didn't try to be a superhero. He recognized the scenario that we were being surrounded and outnumbered. So we had to walk away. So there's those things to consider as well, and being like aware of your surroundings. Yeah. So
like you were ready to
step in and intervene.
But also understanding your limitations and it wasn't the right position to do anything, because it wasn't a one-on-one thing. Yeah. It was a 50 on 8 of us, I think. Yeah. So you know, that was a good scenario that he pulled us out of, and it was like, okay. And then it turns out some bad stuff happened after, some way worse stuff. So it was a good call. But ultimately too, that's why we do stuff like when Sheepdog's response is coming here, to be ready in multiple scenarios and just be vigilant. July 22nd.
July 22nd. 22nd. Yeah. You know, Sheepdog response. You know, and that's why we all go and train outside of just jiu-jitsu. It's like, it's to have that readiness and preparedness and that vigilance of like, okay, we're not paranoid. It's just training for the unpredictable that we hope we don't have to face. So I in that closing, I guess I would hope all these jiu-jitsu guys, you know, take some kind of courses that actually, you know, whether it be firearms or some kind of you know, combative type stuff in those types of scenarios, not just jiu-jitsu and sport, but like, hey, pull some blue guns out, pull some the knives out, the play knives, you know. And that's why, you know, for us, not just because our LEO's here, but just for me, for yourself, the people that do take interest in, you know, street scenarios that, you know, like we was talking about, those variables, it's something to train and consider to, you know, really taking courses on. You know, I'm all about that, being ready, like, with whatever, you know, if it's firearm safety, firearm usage, and grappling hand to hand, like, I think it's just all learning. It's all mental for me, just like jiu-jitsu. It's like, so I enjoy that kind of stuff. So that's why I like to go out, practice, you know, shooting, you know, all that kind of good stuff with professionals, you know. And, you know, I would say, I hope you guys are trained to intervene, but if not, don't think anything negative of yourself, you know, that's okay. Because again, those variables may not be the right, you know, circumstance that where everybody gets hurt, but use the phone, call somebody, call cops right away. You know, but that's just my take.